Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Last time we traversed around Hyrule Field getting more characters to the Skybook in order to move a statue in Kakariko, get us a gigantic cannon that will shoot us to the heavens. But before going to the heavens, I want to make my way over to Castletown really quick to grab our last hidden skill. I was going to meet you guys pretty much right next to it, but I forgot the mailman comes. This really threw me off guard, but it's a letter from our friend Shad, who went ahead and decrypted the ancient language of the Sky People. So, let's see what he's up to. I do believe this is one of our last letters, so that's kinda nice. I know it's not our final letter, but it's one of the last ones you get. After we parted, I tried that word on all the statues I could find in Hyrule, but it was a disaster. Oh, I think you're supposed to get this letter before you do that side quest, but because I never went to one of the spots a mailman would appear, well, that never really happened. So this letter is supposed to tell you that Shad went ahead and activated all those different statues, and he's back in Kakariko. But since we've already done that whole entire quest, well, that's kind of pointless for us. Now, when you're going into Kakariko, not Kakariko Village, when you're going in the castle town here to get your last hidden skill, you need to go in as a human. You would think you can go ahead up to the wolf as a wolf and then be able to transform, but if anyone in this village here, I keep on confusing this place with Kakariko for some reason, if anyone in this town sees you as a wolf, you won't be allowed to transform until you leave Castle Town completely, so it doesn't matter what part of Castle Town you're in, you wouldn't be able to transform. It's very annoying. But this is one part of Castletown we haven't explored yet, because it's one part that we can't really access until we beat, actually, not this dungeon we're going to, but the one after it. But I want to go ahead and come here now, because this is where the final hidden skill is, and this will be helpful for the next two dungeons, and obviously the final dungeon here, which is actually right behind that big old barrier. So once we are able to break that barrier, we'll be in our final dungeon. But let's go ahead and learn our final hidden skill. Can you believe it, guys? We're already here at the final skill. At last, the time is now. This is the 7th and final hidden skill that I can pass on to you. This forgotten skill is the ultimate secret technique, and it tests the true courage of the one who wields it. Do you wish to master this final hidden skill, which can be earned only by the one and only true hero? Yes, I do. Very well. Then before we begin, I must test you to ensure you have mastered the last skill I've taught you, the jump strike. So let's go ahead and do a little jump strike real quick. And let's go ahead and learn our final skill. Excellent, it appears you're certainly capable of performing my lost art. Very well, my final hidden skill is the Great Spin. Let it be hewn into your mind. You have at your disposal the basic sword technique known as the spin attack. You have mastered numerous hidden skills and now house the spirit of the true hero. You now have it in your ability to magnify the power of your spin attack. But the only time that you can draw out this power is when your life energy is brimming full. Now, try unleashing the spin attack on me. So pretty much, if you're at full health, you have a much more powerful spin attack. It has a more powerful attack range, and also can take out a lot of enemies very easily. So, if you're at full health, this really does help, but it's one of the skills you barely use because, for the most part, you're not going to be at full health. It's a nice last little hidden skill, but I would have preferred something else to be its final hidden skill in the game. Since you always have to be full life in order just to use this skill, it's kind of annoying. The jump strike actually would have preferred to be the final hidden skill, but this is still nice nonetheless, so at least we got it. And there you go, guys. That's the final one in the game. We have no more to learn, so this is the final time we actually get to see our Stalfos friend here. You have at last mastered all of the hidden skills. Although I accepted life as the hero, I cannot convey the lessons of that life to those who came after. At last I have eased my regrets. You who have marched through countless foes, each mightier than the last, you who now gaze the future with vision unclouded. Surely you can restore Hyrule to its statue of yore as the chosen land of the gods. Farewell. Go and do not falter, my child. Now right there, that line, go and do not falter, my child, has been a pretty contradictory line in the Zelda community, because some people actually do say that this Stalfos is actually someone else. It's another Link. People say that this is the Link from Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask. This game technically actually comes after Majora's Mask, so people assume that Stalfos is that Link. You never know, it might be, but they never really confirmed this. But that'd be pretty cool if that Stalfos really was Link from Majora's Mask. Because that could explain a lot by why he said, my child, because you never know, he could have had a child in Hyrule before leaving, or came back and had a child. You never know. But now with that all said and done, we can finally go ahead and head to our next dungeon in the sky. And Uku, right behind us, comes along with us, so let's finally go to the heavens that we've been hearing so much about. And here we go, guys. We are entering the City in the Sky, a dungeon we heard so much about back down in Hyrule. Now this is the land of the Uka, so we've seen plenty of the Uka around the dungeon. They are pretty much acting like cuckoos, where you can go ahead and pick up one of the Uka and you can use them to fly across little gaps or little wind turbines that might be pushing you up. So you'll be seeing that from time to time in the dungeon, as well as outside in the main area. You can be blown around by the wind, so there is a little bit of a wind gimmick. But besides that, this dungeon doesn't really have too much of a gimmick on its own. It's a pretty fun dungeon, not really one I remember too much, but I'll explain more why I don't remember this dungeon as much when we get further into it. But as a whole, this dungeon really isn't too hard. It just can take you a while to get through it the first time you play, and it can be a little confusing the first time, but if you stick with it, then you'll learn which way you should go, which ways are blocked off for you for right now. And overall, it's one of the more difficult dungeons, but since it's one of the last dungeons in the game, you can understand why. So with that, on with the episode. Oh, this is convenient that this puddle of water is right where the cannon fired us. It's like it was meant to be. Perfect landing for both me and Uku here. Or me and Uku as in Link. Phew, gracious, we made it back, finally. Welcome, adventurer. This is the Sky City of the Uka. Since you came all this way, I guess I can give you a tour of the city. Eek! Oh, wouldn't you know it, a giant dragon appears. And I hate how the Uku people communicate with each other. It's just the sound that they make. I don't like it. It hurts my ears a bit. It's not a sound I would have picked for these Uku people. Really, I would have chose something else in development. But that's my nitpick of the game here. Ooh, goodness, brave adventurer, you won't believe it. There's a dragon raging outside the city walls. I know, we just saw it. Ooh, I'm terribly worried about everyone. I'm gonna check in the shop for survivors. At least you don't really have to hear him talk like that again. Just, goodness. Ugh. But let's actually go ahead and head to the shop if this wind doesn't push us the other way. Ugh, jeez, that's the one thing I don't like about this dungeon. Actually, wait a minute. Really quick, before we go in the shop, I want to go ahead and put on the iron boots and sink down into this water to grab some treasure chests. Could use a Zora tunic here if I really wanted to, but nah, don't really need it. After you get out of the water temple, you never really need to use the Zora tunic ever again. You can technically go ahead and just sink down and come right back up. Makes that piece of armor almost completely useless. But let's see what's in this treasure chest here. Water bombs. Well, not gonna be using these much, but hey, it's good I now have more bombs. Because before, I had like one standard bomb, one water bomb, and I had the rest of the bomblings, which I still never sold. I've always said that I was gonna go sell them, and I just never did. Don't know why I just didn't go sell them, but probably should have. Oh. Whenever you're getting pushed around like this, go ahead and just put on your iron boots. Makes things a little easier on you. And let's see, does this guy drop a rupee? Nope, he drops a heart. Oh well. I was kind of hoping to get one more rupee because you can buy bombs in the shop, but they cost 90 rupees. And I'm 1 rupee short, so that figures now, doesn't it? I'm not going to talk to the shopkeeper because of that, but he does speak a tiny bit of Hylian, which is a bunch of symbols. But what I do want to do is talk to this Uku over here. Because if you talk to this one, this is actually Uku Jr. And Uku Jr. pretty much functions the same way as Uku. So this is your warp point. Uku Jr. won't take you back to the surface, but he will warp you right back to the shop here. And actually, I'm not sure if this is a guy or a girl Uku, because they never specify it. They just say Uku Jr. At least with Uku, they said her. So, kind of confusing when it gets to this one. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I think it's a guy, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But let's just go ahead and actually continue on with the main portion of the dungeon now. I just want to go ahead and get Uku while I was there. Or Uku Jr. in this case. And I'm waiting for the wind to start pushing me. Wow, it's actually taking a while to get here. Now, you see, that's why I don't like the spin attack, because one tiny little bit of health lost, and guess what? You can't do that ultimate spin attack anymore, so, while it's nice to have, for the most part, you can't use it. That's the disappointing thing about it. Really, just for a final skill, I would have been wanting something completely different, something that would have been a lot more useful. Still a good hidden skill, but for a final hidden skill, it is a tiny bit disappointing when you think about it. But now, after getting to this door, they finally do a little pan around the dungeon. Took them long enough, right? But that cannon that they just panned around, that's how you get back to the surface when you're done with the dungeon, or if you just need to return back to Hyrule for something. Like if you need to stock up on other items, or maybe you forgot to grab something before coming into this dungeon, like maybe a hidden skill. Well, let's go ahead and pick up one of these Uku here and just fly across. They work the same way as Cuckoos. Alright, don't want to deal with you. I just want to go ahead, hookshot my way up here, and continue on. Now, when you see the Uku climbing on the wall here for some odd reason, I don't know how they can do that. Just go ahead and use your hookshot, and you can pull them right next to you. Easy as that. And oh, geez, they're ganging up on me. Better get out of there before they attack. Because they didn't even try to attack. They just tried to run into the walls. And hey, look, a bigger version of those enemies we just saw. These guys aren't that hard. They really aren't. Just do one jump attack and they're dead. They're a joke. That's kind of expected now, isn't it? So let me go ahead, hookshot my way up here. I think this is the way I need to go. This dungeon, I never really remember which way I need to go at first, because at this point in the game, it's when I usually kind of put it down at times too when I played it, and well, that wasn't the way to go. But when I first started to play this game a bit, I kind of started to put the game down in this segment for some reason. I don't know exactly why I was starting to put it down here, but I just was, and because of that, I just never really remember if I had to go either left or right first. And after seeing playthroughs of this game, that confused me even more, because half the playthroughs I would see would be the Wii version, then the other half would be the GameCube version. So it's pretty inconsistent when you think about it. I actually knew someone before who was playing this game, and they actually didn't beat the game until after like 2 or 3 years after they got it. And whoa, Link, don't spaz out on the gate there, buddy. That's kind of weird. But yeah, I knew someone who didn't beat this game until about 2 or 3 years after they got it, because they would always get to the dungeon we're coming up to after this, and then put it down. And then they never get back to it, and when they do, they just make a new file and start over. Well, because of that, yeah, I can see where that's going. Oh yeah, that's right, I can't go over there just yet, so I just did something we can't do just at the moment. We have to come back and do it later. Oh well, at least I got it done now. You need some other kind of way to get yourself across that little pit. And we don't have that way of getting over there just yet, so we have to go this way first. Not a big deal. And I'm just gonna ignore that guy because, oh, he's not on my way, but this one is. And let me just use the normal spin attack on you because I don't have that great spin attack anymore. I really just like using that spin attack if there's a lot of enemies around me and that's it. I know I keep on complaining about it, but for finding a hidden skill, it really did just disappoint me the first time I played. It really did. I would love to have like the hurricane spin from Wind Waker. That would have been great. Because that was really powerful and it didn't just cover one area. No, it covered a couple different areas since you moved around with it. I like that. Unfortunately, we don't have anything like that in this game. The closest we get is just standing in one place, having a more powerful spin attack, and there's a key needed here, so crap. Like I said, see, I always get confused here because this is the dungeon I haven't played as much as the others, so I never remember where to go first or what to do first. So I think I was on the right track the first time. Sorry that I'm kind of confusing you guys because this is used by a walkthrough as some other people, and right now as a walkthrough's sake, I'm doing a terrible job. Oh yeah, that's right, you're supposed to use the Uku here and fly across. That's right. I forgot the Uku people were up there on the staircase. I completely forgot about that. Probably should have practiced this dungeon before coming in here, because the last time I played it was a year ago. And my memory isn't as fresh anymore as it was back then. In fact, before doing this playthrough, I didn't even watch a Let's Play of this. And I was originally going to watch another Let's Play of this game, 100% run, to refresh myself with the game, but I didn't. I didn't have time to. Which really didn't matter in the end, because I do know most of the stuff in this game, so... It's just some of the stuff near the end and the Poe hunting that I have trouble with. Because these are the parts of the game that I haven't done all that much, especially the Poe hunting. I've only done that once, and I think I've only wanted to do it once after the reward you get. Well, technically I'm doing it twice now, but you guys get the point. Now, we can't really do anything in this room, but at least it gets us our small key that we need for the other room. So, hooray! Backtracking! Hooray! Now, normally I would cut over there, but I think something happens as soon as we cross the bridge, getting back to the other side. So if I cut, then you guys are going to miss what it is. Or at least I think it's this moment that something happens. Let's find out. Oh, stupid wind. I hate that. I almost got pushed in that very small crack because of the wind. Hate that so much. And I was right. It was right here. Right as soon as you get that small key that something happens. So it is a good thing I didn't cut. Kind of weird how they transition to a cutscene, fade out real quick, and then they come back to another cutscene. That doesn't make any sense. But that dragon that's flying around destroyed that bridge, so we can't get back over there now if we wanted to. We have to wait until later on in the dungeon. Well, that's not a good thing. So, let's just go back to the other side now, where that locked door was. At least now we're making some progress. And I probably should stop the video soon, because we're already reaching about 15 minutes, and that's not counting that little bio I did in the beginning. And oh, hooray, I'm falling. I hate that part of this dungeon the most, because you gotta grab at the right spot on these little things of mesh, otherwise you're falling to your doom. Hate that so much, because I always fall to my doom. Always do. But I think as soon as we get to the door over here we have to unlock, then I'll go ahead and end it, since it's just a few steps away. I mean, why not, right? Hopefully no more wind would blow me off the edge here. I'm really hoping it doesn't. Because I don't care if the enemies are flying around, I can deal with enemies, but the wind, don't like. And any hearts? Yes. Always like to be at full health if I can for that spin attack to work. But there we go. Now we unlock this door, and I think that's a good enough place to end it, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, guys. So, next time on Let's Play Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, we'll start exploring more of the city in the sky. I'll see you guys next time.